Hello all you lovely people, it is VEDA day 27, only 3 days of VEDA left, so let's make them count. Today I will try 2 new things. First, I'm come to from my desk, because I want to show you something at my computer, and second, I will try to do this in one take, because it is late and otherwise it will be painful to edit. But now to today's topic. Why I use Linux, but why I don't recommend it to everyone. Let's start with a short answer. I use Linux because it is open source and highly customizable. I don't recommend it to everyone because, you guessed it, it's open source and highly customizable. But of course that is a big oversimplification, so let's start getting deeper into the first reason, open source. So open source means that the source code of that software or thing is open to the public. So anyone who can read code could, in theory at least, look at the code and understand what the program is doing and potentially even improve it. It also means that the software is completely free to use, so that is a nice side effect. In theory, this is all great, but in practice, open source software tends to be not that high quality because the people that are writing the software are usually not paid and have varying degrees of experience in writing software. That said, most open source software that is used extensively is very robust and safe. Heck, the internet basically runs on open source software. Almost everything that comes after your computer is running some form of Linux. The downside is that in most cases, if the software isn't doing what it is supposed to do, you cannot call a fancy helpline or something, you have to Google the solution yourself. Now to the highly customizable part. When you use Linux, you basically start by installing a so-called distribution. That is basically a prepackaged, fully realized operating system based on Linux. Linux is just the core part of it. It comes with everything you need to get started. Ubuntu is a great example of that. If you want to try Linux, start with Ubuntu. This is my recommendation. You can even start and try it from a USB stick without installing it on your computer. So you really have no excuse anymore. But yeah, if you want most out of your Linux system and optimize your productivity, you need to exchange parts, customize parts you already have, and install new ones. Yeah, but to show you what I mean by this, let's dive into my highly customized Linux system. The distribution I use comes by default with a Windows-like window manager. But I swapped that out for so-called tiling window manager. This window manager will automatically arrange your windows so to always use all screen space available. So when I open a terminal, it uses the entire screen. When I open the next one, it shares all screen space with the existing one. I can tell the window manager to tile vertically, and it does this. So yeah, it is a pretty neat system for efficient screen space usage, and you no longer have to bother with dragging windows around to fit your needs. So after I changed my window manager, I installed this, the PyDock. It is basically a Mac dock, but in pie shape, so the best kind of shape. With it, all my programs are just 2 clicks away and always close to my mouse. They always appear around my mouse. But now I want to show you the, in my opinion, best part of Linux, the package manager. Let's close all those beforehand. That comes in a lot of forms, so don't be discouraged by the, let's say, minimalist look of mine. This is the heart of most Linux distributions. You could compare it to the App Store in, for example, your phones. But it is so much more than just that. With the package manager, you can install a wide variety of open source software, and it will keep track of all your installed programs and libraries. The last part is important because the package manager makes sure that only one version of every library you need is installed, and libraries you no longer need are deleted from your system. This keeps your computer clutter-free. Also, it automatically updates all your programs as soon as a verified working update of the software you're using is released. So no more 2 years old Office because you can't be bothered to visit the website and install a new version. So that is why I think Linux is a great system that deserves wider usage. But also, it is at times difficult to use and requires the time and energy to get to know your system on a deeper level. For example, to set up the PyDoc, you need to edit a specific config file, this one, and add an entry for every program you want to show up there. You need to invest time there. So that's the reason why even a lot of my colleagues in computer science use Mac or Windows, because it works well for them and they don't want to be bothered with all the small things they need to do to make Linux work good for them. And that is okay. Also, Windows still has more games than Linux, but Linux is catching up thanks to Valve and Steam. But yeah, that's it for today. This was long enough as it is. If you have any questions regarding Linux, my system, or anything else basically, leave them down in the comments. So I hope this was at least a bit interesting. Thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.